Okay, we're going to look at problem 283. This one seems complicated because there's a lot of stuff going on, but let's break it down. I like to break down and organize my thoughts. The party lasted for 3 hours. So just starting to read this, very fun birthday party, lots of friends. Party lasted for 3 hours. That's going to be important, so I'm just going to mark that. She and her friends played games for 3/8 of the time. So games for 3/8 of the time. Let's write that. Games, that was 3/8 of the time. And then we got ate pizza and cake for 50% of the time. So we got pizza and cake 50% of the time. So you can see I'm just organizing my thoughts. And then the remainder of the time was opening presents. The remainder of the time was opening presents. So let's just say presents. We're trying to figure that out. We don't know what that is. So I'll just put a question mark. Remainder of the time was presents. So it says draw a diagram and make calculations. So I think a diagram actually will help. So we're going to draw a diagram. And one way to do this is to just start with a rectangle. So there's my rectangle. So I'm trying to represent what's happening. 3/8 of the time was spent playing games. So for me to draw 3/8, I better break this rectangle up into eighths. There we go. I got 8 pieces there, right? You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So 3/8 of the time was playing games. So let's just put that, games. So 3/8 is playing games. And then it said 50% of the time was done eating pizza and cake. So let's fill up 50% of my picture. Okay, there's 50% of my picture filled up with pizza and cake. Oops, I lost my line. Let's try and get that black line back. So that leaves one little box left. So that one box is how much time was spent doing presents. So let's just put a P there for presents. So what does this spot represent? That's 1/8. That's 1/8 of the rectangle. So now I know how much time was spent on presents. 1/8. So I used the graphic to help me figure out the 1/8, but they also want to know how much time was spent opening presents. So remember I underlined 3 hours. So this whole little graphic representation represents 3 hours. So presents were 1/8 of 3 hours. That's how we set that up. It's 1/8 of 3 hours. Remember when we talk about it in class, that of in our word problems always means multiplication, and that'll help us solve this problem. So we have 1/8 times 3 hours. So if we do the math there, the answer is 3/8 of an hour. That's how much time was spent opening presents, 3/8 of an hour. Well, 3/8 is one of those fractions that I said we should definitely memorize, right, for success. So you may remember that 3/8 is equal to 0.375. So we could say 3/8 of an hour or 0.375 of an hour. If you want to break that down into minutes, it's about 22.5 minutes. And that's how much time was spent with Camille opening presents. So those are our 3 options for answers here. 3/8 of an hour, 0.375 an hour, 22.5 minutes. And that's how we can solve that.